now declare this frickin' idiot convention open! That's all right. R-D-I-R-G. With a frick here and a frick there. Here, frick there, frick everywhere, frick.
Good morning and welcome to our final season review of Star Trek Picard Season 3, where we talk about the whole season, how we thought it went down, whether we thought it was good or not, whether we thought it was a giant pile of steaming JJ Trek. That's why we are here this morning, and that's why we are coming to you live on this special final episode. The final time we get together like this. Or is it?
Dun dun dun.
No, Loki. No, enough. I can hear Dave Bob already.
Another 9 weeks of Picard.
Another 9 weeks. The
Star Trek retard.
Puxatony Trek came out, saw its shadow, and we get 9 more weeks of this shit. Good morning, everybody out there in chat. It's great to see you all here. Good morning. Keely Chow, Roll Tide. Keely, what is up? Snorted Spoopers Cuber, my favorite polar bear on YouTube. Trying to say that 3 times fast. Mark the Emptily Tired. Good morning, my friend. The angriest wrench in Valhalla. Good morning, Gun Bunny. Good morning, angry. Gun Bunny. Adega Outlaws here, the mad doctor of disaster and destruction. Good morning, Adega. Chris Burge of the Wrench is here. Good morning, Chris. Rambling Canucks in chat, and he's on here. How can he be in 2 places at once? Oh my God!
What?
Crazy Canadian.
And just so everybody knows, yes, I've gotten the feedback on being on camera the other night. No, I will never do it again. I promise. Like, oh my God, I've got a disorder because the face doesn't match the voice. 5 messages. Don't ever do that again.
Oh my God.
All right. You're not ugly. We swear. We just find it odd that you were on camera.
We're not saying you have a face for radio, but.
Ow.
God help me. Oh, it's a horrible camera too. It doesn't do anything for me. Mr. Buckrack Media, good morning. How are you doing? Dave G Sound, my brother from another mother. Dave G Sound, Psychodorf 9. Good morning, my friend. How are you doing? It's good to see everybody here. Oh man, nearsighted Cyclops. Good morning, Mr. Buttcrack. Mr. Buttcrack Media is here. Good morning, my friend. Southern Viking. Good morning. June Wong, what is up, June Wong? How are you doing? I did not get back to you last night. I'm sorry about that. I'm working on it. Shit was crazy last night, and I was juggling because I'm moving too. So getting ready to move's nuts. Lord Thoth, good morning. Good morning. Oh my God, Arwyn Avalon's in chat. Oh my God. Hello, Twinsy. Oh my God. Penny, good morning, Penny. It's good to see you. Shum, oh my effing God, turn it on. See what happens? I turned the camera on. Bugly Loki, thanks. Kurt is lovely. Thank you, Dega. A couple people know what that means. Good morning, Steve. How are you doing? God help me with the Kurt thing. For anybody who doesn't know, please save Loki. If Loki's ever in a basement screaming SOS or help me, you know. I've been captured by the evil one that calls me Kurt. Okay, Star Trek. Let's welcome the panel. We have a wonderful panel. Daryl the Derelict, what's up? He says, hey, Twinkie.
Hey, Twinsy.
Greetings, program. How are you doing? Okay, we've got the Rambling Man from Canada. Rambling Canuck. Good morning, my friend. How are you doing?
Oh, not too bad. Not too bad.
All right.
And see what'll happen is Patrick Stewart will wake up, have Alzheimer's, forget that he recorded the whole damn show, and he'll have to redo the whole thing.
Oh God, stop it. Stop rambling. Shut up.
Okay.
Don't give me the ideas.
Brian Roger Athay, good morning. How are you doing?
Oh, you've made my day, and we haven't even been live for 5 or 6 minutes. I'm doing very well. I haven't laughed so much in 6 minutes than I have for the past week. So I'm doing well, and hopefully we have a good conversation about how Will Wheaton's older brother tried to make Star Trek great again. Because I've seen Terry Matalas for the first time, and I'm thinking, he looks way too young to be a showrunner. But, yeah, carry on.
Dave Bob, my brother from another mother, the Rooster Dave Bob. How are you doing, my friend? You should be excited. This is it. No more.
I'm doing great. I didn't have to watch any of that shit this week. I mean, I'm just doing good.
He's doing great. You didn't have to watch any of that shit, and he's doing great. The Lady Arwyn Avalon, the maiden of roided owls and sausages. Good morning.
Good morning, y'all. I'm diving into my second cup of coffee, so I'm doing good. I needed it this morning. Although I did get to sleep. Sleep is good, y'all. Don't underestimate sleep. When you get it. So yeah.
Yes. Freaking-lutely.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, panel from Penny. Good morning, Penny.
Hey, Penny.
Good morning.
The fox in the hen house. Not to be confused with the rooster in the hen house. Project Storytime is here. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm glad to be here. Waiting to talk about this horrendous thing called a show.
Oh, come on, Foxy. Come on. Come on, man. It's great.
I don't think so.
House of 24.
24/7 Fusion Media is here. The man who loves to blow shit up. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good, man. How y'all doing today?
Doing good.
Yeah,
Good.
just I'm excited, ready to get this going. You know, happy to be here, seeing all the great people in the chat. What's up, McKinney? Mockney, my bad.
One of those.
Uh-huh.
I know,
thought
right?
You did that on purpose.
Nah, I would never do
McKinney.
that. But what's up,
Uh-huh.
everybody out in the chat? Everybody on the panel. Hopefully, everybody's doing good. You know, I'm happy to be here with everybody. Just ready to get this rolling. See, have a great conversation.
Oh yeah. All right. So let's start this off. Good to see you, Dork Knight, Penny, Mockney. Good to see everybody here. Let's get this going. So we hear that there's going to be a third season of Picard. I'm immediately like, I'm not watching it. I'm not going to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And I start hearing things from PJ over to Orbital Nation, from R&B.
Mm.
You got to at least watch the first 4 episodes. They're killer. And I'm like, do I really want to put myself through another season of Drek? Horrible wannabe Star Trek. Do I want to go through the pain and suffering? Oh, old Picard. Hello.
I'm so sorry for being white.
Has anyone seen my little blue pills?
Oh my God.
Dr. Crusher called and wanted a hookup. She said, Captain, holla if you hear me.
Yeah.
And I said, where are my blue pills? Where's my Romulan house girl? Where am I? Shit, we lost 24.
My Romulan concubine.
Lost 24.
We lost 24. He'll be
24
back.
down.
24 down. I just didn't want to know if I wanted to go through that again. And finally someone, almost like they made the decision for me.
Mm.
They were like, not in a million years would I be on this person's show to watch this crap, and I'll never watch it. And they ended up watching it anyway. Isn't that funny? Because they talk 9 kinds of shit about it. They refused to go on this person's show and just try it. And I was like, you know what? I'm not a fucking baby. I'm not stomping my feet and going, no, I'm not going to take the spoonful of steroid. No. Just because I have to have all my meat burnt doesn't mean that I won't take a spoonful of fucking sugar every once in a while. All right, fine. I'll do the spoon. 4 episodes. 4 episodes, and luckily I had this wonderful group of people to ride on this either journey of extreme pain and suffering or a nice surprise. Could be, you know, I in a million years I never would have imagined it'd be a breakout hit. There are people, oh my god, it's saving Star Trek. No, it's
Star
not.
Trek is back, everyone.
We said the same thing with Mandalorian, and look how that turned out. So, oh my god, Star Wars is saved. Have you heard they're gonna have Han and Leia in the next episode, and they're gonna be pregnant with twins because they're erasing the timeline, and the sequel movies will never have happened, and we won. Suck a big fat fucking dick if you believe that.
Oh, that was my hope.
They're
That was
resetting
my
the entire timeline.
That would have made a good show, but yeah.
You know, it would have been better if no one had said anything and they had just ignored the new movies. Just ignored it and just gone with Mando. That would have been beautiful, but
They
it
can't
is
do
what
that.
it is. No.
They can't do that. And
That's why we can't have nice things.
Why we can't have nice things. And Favreau and Filoni come out and are like, it's all leading up to the sequel trilogy, guys. It always has been from the very beginning. And it's like, wait a minute, I thought there was like this big civil war behind the scenes to talk shit. So I never once have been like, oh my god, Picard season 3 is going to save Star Trek. I don't think it would. I didn't think it would. I don't think it can. I don't think it did. It's just its own little entity over here in a sea of madness.
I don't think it did.
No.
Oh, absolutely not.
No, I never thought it would. This is not. And listen to what's going around right now. You're going to hear a lot of stuff. Oh, Terry Matalas is in talks with the team over at CBS Paramount. They're going to do this and this in the future. There are no plans to do.
They're going to do Star Trek Legacy, and that's totally going to save Star Trek, even though they've already introduced the Star Trek Section 31 show for the 1 millionth time, and they're bringing back the Star Trek Academy show, and they're all going to be run by Kurtzman, and what are you people talking about? No. Star Trek is still dead.
So you can say whatever you want to about the oh my god, there's news, they're talking. The only thing that has been confirmed is that Terry Matalas has talked to Kurtzman about the possibility. There is no plans. This is not in production. It's not in pre-production. It's not in anything. They've just talked over the phone. Oh, we talk about it. We talk about doing it. There is no nothing.
Hey, Terry, can I ride on your coattails for the next 9 years?
Of course, human being is alive. I like that. I really do. I really like that. Now, do I think, and we're going to get to everybody, so have no fear of that. We're going to get to everybody's opinion. I'm going to let you guys kind of go wherever you want to with your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
But throughout the course of this season, I felt like you've got these moments of inspiration. You've got really good music. You've got these points of inspiration and this camaraderie with the crew. And then it feels like they turned it over to a fucking 6-year-old and were like, here, write the script in Crown. and you're like, who the fuck wrote this? You've got this like touching, I will always be at your side, Captain Picard. You've got Worf, like, I am a Klingon warrior. I might be a little bit of a pacifist now, but I'll still cut your fucking head off with my sword. And I pledge my eternal loyalty to you, Captain Picard. And you're like, that's the fucking Worf I know.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, let's write the next script in Crown. And it goes between these moments of my God, there's our crew, to this 6-year-old writing the script.
Yes.
Let's fly the Enterprise through a Borg cube like it's an X-Wing fighter going into the Death Star to blow it up. And I watched the whole series. I watched the entire series over. That's why my week has been so crazy. Is I've been like doing stuff and watching the show. I'm getting ready to move. I've been packing him. I also was watching the show again. And I'm like, this shit with Rappy on Planet Metalis. That's the fucking planet you picked, Terry. It's got my name.
Oh my god, I didn't even catch that.
They
I
named
didn't
it
either.
after me.
Crack Planet. You're named after
Crack.
Planet Crack.
Yeah, we named Planet Crack after you, Terry, because you're such a good boy. And it's just you've got this shit with Rappy, which I don't like. Yeah, they gave her some character development. I think that was Terry. Every time they turn it over to another writer, I'm just like, you guys fucking lost me. The script is all over the place. The bad guys are all over the place. You set us up with these changelings that are supposed to be like, oh, we escaped from a super secret Section 31 facility that was on the Daystrom Institute. It's a public science station. Scientists can go there whenever they want to. This is where all the science happens for the Federation.
It's
the best science.
It's like MIT having a black site warehouse. It's like, what?
Yes,
That
it's
wouldn't
like
surprise me in this day and
it's
age.
like MIT
really wouldn't.
having a military fucking black site. I'm sorry, but no. And it's just like, hey, we can walk up to the door and okay. So Daystrom Institute, MIT in space.
The Smithsonian's back, the sub basement at the Smithsonian.
Has a killer Android AI that's like, you must use your thumbprint. You have 20 seconds to comply. Fucking Ed 209's patrolling the corridors in holodeck form. 5. We will now use lethal force. Are you fucking kidding me?
But
And
at
I've got
least-
people DMing me and sending me messages. Of course, Section 31 would have its own space station. You fucking moron! It's not its own space station. It's the Daystrom Institute.
Right.
People actually message you these things.
Yes.
You're that
Yes.
popular.
There are comments. Go back and look at some of the comments. There's comments, my friend. There are comments. Of course, Section 31 has its own ships and its own stations. It's not a Section 31 station. It's a public Federation science station. God help us all. There are problems.
And what is the point of? Okay, we've resurrected Data, and he has the personality of Lore, and they also mentioned the Lull and B4 and the guy from the first season of Picard who apparently died, and they just stuck him in there somewhat for some reason. Okay, so we have this completely human robot. Let's put it in charge of our security. Why? Why would you do that?
Why would he be guarding the entire?
Yeah. What was your security before this robot came into existence?
It was
That'd be
Mikey
like-
Spock.
That'd be like putting C-3PO as the lead AI in the Death Star.
Yep.
Oh no. This way, the super secret black operation site. It's really, really secret.
It's what happens when you mix TNG and STD together. It's just going to lead to Picard.
Well, Loki, if you're burning it down, why did you like it? Okay, here's some things. And I'm in the middle of the road here. I'm going to wait until I hear everybody's discussion and I'll rank it. But right now, I'm floating between a 5 and a 6 total for the season. And that is because we had some really great moments with the crew. That's the cast coming back together and being a Star Trek cast. You idiot, Patrick Stewart, who are like, we don't need the rest of them. You just need me. Pay me millions of dollars and I will be Picard. Forget everyone else. Picard's not who he used to be. He's a fragile old man now that's about to die from Irritable syndrome.
Except not really.
Except not really, because we're going to put him in a robot body that could die at any moment. Oh my God. Imagine that. Imagine that. Oh, you're fixed, Jean-Luc. Oh, thank you. Oh, wait, I'm dead. Oops. I guess I should have given the timer more than like 5 seconds before it started to count down to who knows when you're gonna die.
Mm,
I love the music. I love the music.
The music was pretty good. I will
They-
I will grant you the music.
They fixed a problem I had with season 1, which is every ship in the fleet looks exactly the same.
Well, it costs money to make all those models, and and then copy and paste them. It's much cheaper that way.
mm.
I get that. And they were trying to rush to get their shit out, and but that's their problem. That's on them. That's not on us. So, do I think the story was better than season 1 and season 2? Yes. Do I think the story still stuck? Yes, I do. Because of the Borg and because of the way they did the changelings. I get that this is something Picard needed to deal with, but Picard also dealt with that in First Contact. They brought the Borg back again. How did the Borg contact the changelings? How did the changelings contact the Borg? Who's that floaty face that homegirl's talking to? Is that the Queen or was that someone else? There's a whole shitload of mystery boxes we don't have answers to. And that's
Too many
more-
loose ends.
Too many loose ends, and that's more JJ Trek.
Mm.
And don't even get me started about the bitch on Daystrom that experimented on him and did all that shit. It was just allowed to do whatever. Oh, but Loki, there would be private labs and da 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 da. The Federation does not do that. Section 31 might do that, but the Federation does not do that.
Mhm.
There is no oh whoa, it's completely closed off bullshit with one doctor, and she's the only one that can go in. You do realize that the reason why Starfleet had no idea this was going on was because only one doctor was allowed to go into that lab. Just one. And that's the bitch that homegirl takes over. Explain that to me. Explain that to me. So
Loose end.
Loose ends that they didn't tie up, things that were never explained. They said a changeling had to steal the cure. Obviously, you didn't watch Deep Space Nine, motherfucker, because that was Bashir and O'Brien that went into Sloane's brain and stole that cure. Oh, but the changeling could have been lied to. Loki, then explain that and fucking show us that instead of pulling this mystery box bullshit.
You only have loose ends, folks, if you're planning new shows to tie those loose ends up from the previous show. And I don't think any new shows are going to spawn as a result of this season. So,
How the hell did the Borg build a planet-sized Borg cube on Jupiter without Starfleet knowing? They didn't. It was a transwarp conduit, but they don't explain how they got the transwarp conduit working again. They never explain.
In the Jupiter spot, which is
Yeah.
like twice the size of Earth. How the hell did they build something that big unnoticed?
That's right.
3 times
With a lot of
the size of
pressure.
Earth.
with a lot of atmospheric pressure, it's like superstorms in that eye.
And that
Jupiter is
giant,
a failed star.
that giant Borg cube was a Unimatrix. It was a giant Unimatrix. It was the Queen's Unimatrix. But it's not the one from Voyager because that one was destroyed. So there's more explanation we need, which means that we need more time. We need more story, but you're not going to give us that. You're not going to give us that, and people are going to get pissed off about it. So I'm going to pass. I'm going to pass the baton over to Rambling. I'm still thinking about my score. It's going to be around a 5 or a 6 unless someone really blows me the fuck away. So, Canuck, the baton's yours. Have at it, brother.
All right. So, Picard season 3 to me is the best out of all 3. And that's coming from a person who liked season 1. Season 2 was dreck. God. I almost didn't watch season 3 because of season 2. And which is sad considering Loki will tell you I was, for all intents and purposes, I was probably the one person in the room going, it wasn't that bad. To the point that me and Loki argued over it. But season 3 for me, yes, there were loose ends. Yes, there were some things that went, really? What the fuck? But for me, I thought it hit and it landed right. And it was, for as much faults as it had, it counterbalanced, in my opinion. I look at things a little bit differently than some people do. And Loki and I had this conversation already to some degree. I look, like, even in season 1, when the fleet flew in and it was all the same ship and everybody threw up their hands and went, fucking stupid. I looked at that a little different, and that's mainly because I do military history all the damn time. And during World War II, the United States main battle tank was a piece of shit that the Germans could shoot through in about 30 seconds. Even the British went, fuck that, I'm getting a different gun on the bitch. And they made a Firefly.
Well,
But
even at the Battle of Wolf 359, there were 10 Excelsior class ships.
all right.
Battle of Wolf
So
359.
with me, I look at militaries, and for me, you look at, like, if the United States went to war tomorrow, the main battle tank is going to be the M1. It's not going to be the M1, a couple of Shermans, and a couple of this and a couple of that. It's going to be the M1 battle tank. And they're all going to be semi-similar. And the one that's going to be backing it up is the Bradley. So for me, that felt okay. It was a special ship, battle class, okay, fine. I can live with that because we do that in our own militaries. Now, I get it. We're going millions of miles, and I'm going to get off season 1 in a minute. But for me, just to explain where I'm coming from on this, to me, that made sense. For me, a dark site in a open area is sometimes the best places to put it. Hid in plain sight. Throughout history, we have had major sites hidden in plain sight because that's the best place to put them. You don't look there. You're looking for the ultra secret, top secret battle station in the middle of fucking nowhere. You're not looking for right next door. Surprise.
Or in an airport.
Also, studying military history, I don't put anything past any governmental body. I don't care how self-righteous they are. Hell, even the Allies in World War II did some pretty shady shit. But so, for me, coming from that kind of background, I'm okay with it. I can put it in my head canon and I can make it work. The music, the scores were great. It actually sounded like Star Trek. It didn't sound like some space odyssey. Were some of the things a little far-fetched, like the Enterprise D going, 100 miles an hour through warp 2 through the cube?
Flying like an X-wing.
Well, it was probably more along the lines of not the X-wing, but more along the lines of that stupid freighter. But that Han used to fly. So less like an X-wing, and the only thing is they didn't hit the rate the dish.
Yeah, they should have
on
hit
the way
something.
out. But whatever. So. For me,
they didn't dent the deflector dish.
yeah, they didn't dent the deflector dish, damn. But for me, it made enough sense that I could go, okay, it's Data flying. Data can do some things that we couldn't. Data can pretty much do whatever he wants. I mean, look at when he locks out the Enterprise's computer and laughs. Just go ahead,
Just
try to break
hand
my code. I
moving
dare you.
Like this.
So for me, it's not a major issue. Some of the Raffi stuff still kind of made me go grr, but I'll give them credit where credit's due. They gave Raffi some kind of character development, which by the end of season 2, I didn't think that was effing possible. They didn't. They brought back the Borg, but they didn't bring back the Battery Eater, which is what I feared they were going to do. So I'll give them points for that. They didn't bring back the Battery Eater, and that be how they beat the Borg.
I can't stand that bitch.
It- 'cause-
I really can't.
okay, Here's the thing. I'll take the ending we got rather than Picard shows up, right? His son is hooked up to the Borg cube. The Queen is there in her evilness. And then Picard reminds her that the only reason that she's still alive is he set her free. And she has the warming in her cockles of her heart and stops the battle, which is what I feared they were going to do. They didn't do that, so I'll take the one we got because it could have been a lot fucking worse. So for me, I liked season 3. Season 3, in my opinion, should have been what Picard was from the start. The problem is we had a little idiot named Stewart who wouldn't let that happen. So I'd like to know how drunk they got him to sign off on that shit. But for me, I really liked it. Yes, there were faults. Unfortunately, it's just the way it is. It's modern television. Was Picard season 1, 2, 3 ever going to save Star Trek? No. Not one show is going to save a franchise. Not one movie is going to save a franchise. Now, one movie can fuck a franchise, but one movie cannot save a franchise. One TV show cannot save a franchise. And anybody who thinks that, I'm sorry, it just... Because here's the thing. It is a lot easier to make somebody hate something than it is to make somebody like something. And if you need proof of that, just look around the world today. It is a fuck of a lot easier to get somebody to hate something than it is to convert them to like it.
How dare you?
So
Dig Outlaw says it was amazing how the D could do all that fancy flying in Jupiter's Gravity.
yeah.
That's the power of the penetrating D, folks. Now
Well,
on to
that's
June
the power of plot armor.
June Wong with $5 Australian super chat said, "Hidden in plain sight, eh? Imagine it's an abandoned shed on MIT campus, secured by a bike lock. Inside, with the Roswell Gray sits in a cage, smoking a cigarette." Yes. Yeah. Hello, human. Yeah, I sound like Seth Rogen. How y'all doing? Yes. No, I absolutely. Thank you for that $5 super chat.
But yeah, so for me, some of the major plot holes weren't as major to me. But again, it's just the way I come at the topic. It's I come at it from a different point of view, as a certain Star Wars character would say. But it's just, to me, it was good. It landed where it needed to. It had its faults, but it landed where it needed to. I'll let somebody else talk for a couple minutes.
Ryan Roger Athay.
Folks, Star Trek Picard Season 3 is the best Star Trek we have ever seen in 18 years. But that doesn't say much. That really doesn't. I am 23 years old. The last Star Trek that was actually Star Trek was last released when I was about 6. That just goes to show you how far this franchise has fallen. In regards to Picard Season 3, I felt that the show was too inconsistent. None of the episodes I felt were god-awful, although they were touch and go there for a moment. But for me, there were 3 good episodes out of 10, that being Episode 5, Episode 9, and then Episode 10. To me, this season has been nothing more than a glorified 2-parter. You could just literally watch the last 2 episodes, and that's it. But, yeah, the 3 good episodes out of 10 is great for new Trek standards. But for Star Trek standards that we all know and love, it's god-awful. Take STD out of the picture, take the JJ films out of the picture, and all the other useless drivel that's been released over the past, so how long has it been? 14 years that this new Trek has been about. Take all that away, this season would not be considered good Star Trek. So that's my view. Terry Matalas, Will Wheaton's older brother, has done his best to, basically take something that has been utterly ruined and try to make it better. But he had an impossible task, and no wonder he failed. So that's my view. I give the show overall a 5 out of 10 with 3 good episodes. And yeah, now on to Foxy for his view, because his view will be a lot more negative than mine.
Actually, we're gonna go down to Dave Bob. 'Cause I
Oh.
know Dave Bob's gonna make this short, and he's gonna make it sweet, and he's gonna get right to the
This was
point.
me. Go ahead, Dave Bob.
Floor's yours.
Okay.
Yeah, he might be having mic problems.
Dave Bob?
Honestly, this.
There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can
Yeah.
hear you.
Yes.
Go
Hello.
ahead. Yes.
Okay. My opinion of this show, y'all already know. Now, if I want to get into it, okay, the music was okay. I did like the music because it did bring back some of the old Trek theme songs and whatnot. However, I thought, a lot of you say, the characters were, spot on, blah, blah, blah. I thought exactly the opposite. There was just so much inconsistency with the characters. I couldn't believe it. I mean, with Beverly, just slay, being a slay queen and everything else, I just, I didn't buy that. A doctor doesn't do that. And of course, Worf being a pacifist, come on, get real. I don't care if he chops your head off. He's not a Vulcan sitting around just doing his thing, meditating all the time. And as far as Picard, God, don't even get me started on Sir Stu. I mean, he's
Sir Stu.
he's a waste of space in this thing. And his son, supposed to be in his early 20s, being played by a 35-year-old guy. At least they could have picked someone a little younger to try to do that. But that's neither here nor there. He's not one of the main characters. Data, how many goddamn times can you bring him back? Really? I mean, that son of a bitch has been killed and brought back more than Superman. And as far as the villains, I thought that was pretty crappy. And the Borg. It's always the Borg. I don't, it's just, you know how I feel. I'm going to give the overall series a 2 out of 10.
All right. All right. I don't blame you. And I'm not going to argue with you because I know I can see it. I can see exactly where you're coming from. So that brings us to the one and only, the sausage queen of Chicago.
Oh my God.
The keeper of the roided owls.
Mm-hmm.
My grasshopper.
Don't forget the box line. Don't forget the box line.
Jester's Darth Arlena's twinsy, who just gifted 5 Loki's Mornings of Mischief memberships. Thank you, Darth Arlena. Thank you so very much. Just Another Red Shirt was gifted a membership. Real Wade Nation was gifted one. Philip A. Dimick was gifted one. The Swamp Penguin was gifted one. And Gonzalo Bergali, who I've never seen on here. But it looks like he's sitting in a Star Trek. Looks like he's got a Star Trek outfit on. So maybe he watches for Star Trek. I don't know. But hello, Gonzalo.
What a name.
And thank you again, Darth Arlena. We're going to turn things over to the Lady Arwyn Avalon and hear her view of what she thought of the season of Star Trek Picard.
I liked it. I did. Is it perfect? No, my God, no, y'all. It is not perfect. Is it a standalone collection of stories? Thank you, Snorty. Yes, I know.
Worst.
Yeah, the worst sausage. Here's the thing, and this may be a little controversial, but I'm in coffee, so that's the way I'm rolling this morning. I really, at the end of the day, we talk about the behind the scenes, who said who said what, whose contract has been renewed. I really don't care. I don't. And I know it's a hot subject today because we got to get behind the scenes and see what these people are doing. I get it. But, I'm not there in those board meetings. I'm not in their heads. They could say one thing, whether good or bad, and the next day could change on a dime. So I don't thank you, Penny. Yeah. I don't put any stock into any of that shit. I really don't, because I don't care. Number 2, I like a challenge. Season 1 and 2 sucked ass, in my opinion. I hated season 1 and 2. But you know what? Y'all, it's a pop culture gathering. It's what we do. We watch things and review them. So I'm like, okay, Loki's going to do Picard. Let's do it. Let's get down and gritty and let's do it. And let's see what this is about. I think Ryan had mentioned the JJ movies. I don't include them in Lore Trek. He said it was alternate timeline. Alternate timeline, you can do whatever the hell you want with it. So when I think of those films, I don't in any way, shape, or form take them and include them in Trek lore. I just don't. Now, whether you think they're good or not, that's fine. Everyone has their opinion on those films. But that doesn't bother me. Set out from the go, alternate timeline, whatever. I'm okay with that. The rest of the Trek that we've gotten lately has not exactly been stellar. Let's face it, it hasn't. But watching this season, and I've said this before, I have purposely avoided any reviews of this show except this panel, because I'm of the mind where I want to make up my own opinion, and there's so much noise revolving around a lot of these shows that it's hard to separate. Okay, is this what I really think, or am I parroting somebody else's opinion? Am I agreeing with them? Am I not agreeing with them? I don't know. But I wanted to really, really do that with this show because this show is so controversial. You got one group saying, "Oh, it's nothing's going to save Star Trek. It's dead. This show is just going to be shit." You got another side saying, "No, give it a chance. It's going to save Star Trek." Blah blah blah. I don't think either one of those are true.
Agreed.
I don't. I think it was a decent show, and I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Look, I watched Rings of Power, y'all. Okay, so I know
you, Arwyn.
TV. I know it. And this, at least, this show gave a modicum of respect to these characters. Again, I know it wasn't perfect for reasons everybody has stated, and I agree with that. There were plot holes. There were things that were meh. There were things that were, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Okay, we see you kind of thing. But at the end of the day, if they're going to try to do something better than what's been done, I'm going to encourage that. And there's this, train of thought that, oh my God, you can't encourage them because then they'll just go back to doing shit. Well, maybe not. I don't know. But if something is decent and I see that they're trying, then I'm going to be like, okay, well, good for you. You did it. I'm not going to continually punish someone over and over and over and over if they're doing something that I wanted them to do in the first place. This should have been Picard 1. We wanted to see the crew. We wanted to see the ships. We wanted to see these things. It's not member berries when it's part of his past and it's shit we want to see. And it works. Bringing these people together. And I know, there's been some changes with some of the characters. I get it. It is 20 years down the road. So I do give some passes in that regard. Yes, Arlena was there. Riggs Power Girl. She was there. So yeah, I thought there was some really good points. I do think the music was stellar, was absolutely stellar. I got the feels when I heard that music, again, because it's what I wanted to hear. When the characters came together, I wanted to see them together. I wanted to see them on that bridge. I wanted to see, okay, how the hell are they going to, come together and work together again as a team? Again, what I wanted to see. And so, yeah, at the end of the day, I did like it. I don't think it was fantastic, but I don't think it was horrible. I think they tried, and I appreciate that. As a viewer and a Star Trek lover, I appreciate that. So I enjoyed it. I wish it had been season 1, and I will die on that hill. I wish
I
it had
agree
been
with that.
season 1. If it had been season 1, I think there wouldn't be such a so many people closing the door on it. And again, if y'all don't like it and y'all didn't want to watch it, I respect that. I do. Well, it's funny because you've got Picard season 1 and 2 were crap, but season 3 an uptick, and you got Mando season 1 were wonderful to me, and season 3 I'm just like I'm watching generic sci-fi channel Saturday afternoon Mandalorian. It misses the mark, and that is unfortunate with pop culture today and the IPs is they're not steady, they're not established. It's like miss kind of hit, or hit and then miss. And that is the biggest problem. And I think there's just too many people trying to run these shows, too many chefs, not enough cooks. It's they need to get a stable group that is consistent for a show and stick with it through the entire series, not this person working over here, this person working over there. It's just a mess. That's why I don't really give two shits anymore about a lot of stuff about what I hear coming out of these boardrooms, because we don't know. We really don't know. And I like Shaw, and I hate that he was killed, y'all. He was my asshole, and I love Shaw, and I just hate that he was killed. But again, his death had meaning to me. It had meaning, and that's why it gutted me, because I did come to like that character. So, yeah,
Mark,
I enjoyed it.
Mark, please tell me you clipped Arwen saying he's my asshole.
Yep.
You know what I mean.
Yes.
Shut up, Athay.
I just got past an update at the news desk here in Valhalla. Apparently, Don Lemon has been replaced as Arendir. The part will now be played by Lizzo. Calabrimbro, Charles Edwards has been replaced. The new Calabrimbro will be played by Dylan Mulvaney from the Bud Light commercial.
Oh my
So
God.
we've got two huge, you heard it here first.
Oh my
ladies and
goodness.
gentlemen. 2 huge news updates in pop culture. They will shake the very foundation. Lizzo is going to play a man elf in season 2 of Rings of Power, and Dylan Mulvaney will play Calabrimbro in Rings of Power. Amazon's just shaking everything up.
They are. Now, before, I want to say one more thing on that. If Rings of Power turns their shit around and they put out a decent season, I will admit that. I am not immune to that. I will give credit where credit is due. I don't see it happening. I hope it does, but who knows, y'all? Things are just so turbulent right now. We really have no idea. But yeah, I enjoyed the season. It wasn't perfect, but it was better than the crap we've gotten. So I don't know how much that's saying, but there we go.
Lowered expectation.
Probably. We've been so damn burned. Probably.
And Big Geek Sparring Girl with $10 super chat said, love the legacy characters. Love Rowan Picard got closure. Going to miss Captain Shaw. Rafi was likable for once. Lickable or likable? If she's lickable, she's always been lickable for 7. 7 was given a decent role. Was that the role of licking Rafi? We don't know. I will admit that it was, in my opinion, Star Trek I wanted
Loki.
and missed. I'm sorry. I didn't write it.
Bad
Thank
Loki.
you.
Bad
Thank you.
Loki.
I can't get that picture out of my head now.
Like a lot of 7. MB Geek Sparring Girl, thank you, brother, for the $10 super chat. We are going to move over to Project Story Time. My friend, my wrench here in Valhalla, along with Chris Persia and Mark, the always angry and infinitely tired. The floor is yours, brother.
Come on, Sensei. What you got? Your 30 pages of notes?
30 pages, folks.
Okay, so I originally had no intention of watching this show at all, based on everything that this new era of Star Trek has brought us. I'm out. I watched the first episode of Strange New Worlds, and it literally hurt my love of the entire brand. The whole, there was a transporter malfunction and Spock beamed down without pants on. Isn't that funny? Fuck you!
What? Really?
Yes, that happened.
Jesus Christ! No wonder you're all so black-pilled on the franchise.
So I had zero intention of watching this. After the 6th episode came out, I just kept hearing everyone talking about how they saw the Enterprise A and the Defiant, and how the episodes are really, really good, and I should check it out. So I went, fine, I'll watch it. And I wanted to know what the fuck people were smoking, because this show was so terribly written. I'm not talking about the characters themselves. I thought they were treated with a lot more respect than they had been.
Yeah.
But there's still moments where you have Picard saying things like, "You're just a dipshit from Chicago." That's not Picard. That's not Picard at all.
Give in to your anger.
Be infinitely angry. Go ahead.
So I thought the story was weak, and that's what I go to Star Trek for. I want good stories with characters I like. Now, I like these characters, and I don't have a problem with having these characters acting slightly differently than the last time we saw them. It's been a long time. I have no problem with that. And you acknowledge that they've aged. I have zero problems with that. It's one of the issues I have with the first Star Trek, the motion picture, where they tried to ignore the fact that everyone was clearly older.
Yeah.
Whereas in Wrath of Khan, it's part of the storyline. Aging is one of the themes of the movie. Because, aging is a thing that exists. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with coming up with a convoluted way to have Data explain why he looks older now. I personally don't think you needed to do that, because as a human being, I understand Brent Spiner's pushing 70. I get it.
Yeah.
So he's 69. My goodness.
But so I don't have an issue with the characters being treated slightly differently. It's when the characters do things that are stupid. That's what I have issues with. Like, you have Worf. I don't mind the fact that Worf now has more control over his anger. I think that's a fine character development for him. But if he's working as a spy, why does he kill someone that he could easily interrogate for information? That's a plot hole. You have the fact that Worf got a message from Odo about this rogue faction of changelings. Well, how come the changelings aren't doing a goddamn thing? There's just all these unexplored plot things, and I don't like when there are member berries that serve no purpose. Now, yes, I didn't mind the scene of all the various ships, because that actually was establishing, okay, here's the Fleet Museum, we're going to return here. So it wasn't a member berry, it was actually a setup. So I will give that one a pass. But the Genesis device, there's no reason for that to be there. Why is there one? They were both destroyed. So I thought the story was just very badly written, that depended so much on nostalgia. And for me, that's not what Star Trek's about. Next Generation and DS9 and Voyager and Enterprise had, callbacks to the previous shows. But you can do that and still be your own thing. This show cannot work without having ever seen Star Trek The Next Generation. If you've never seen an episode of TNG, this show makes no sense. And that's the problem. TNG can stand on its own. You don't have to have seen any episode of the original series to be able to watch TNG.
True.
That's not possible with this show. And that's a problem. So now I thought overall the performances were pretty solid. I did find myself liking Shaw simply because the guy, it's like, yeah, he's being an asshole, but he's right on everything he's saying, which I appreciated. He wasn't just he wasn't the standard Star Trek, like, I'm the big swinging dick around here for no other reason. It was, well, no, he's in charge. It is his ship, and what he's saying is totally right. But then you have plot holes in terms of, why is Admiral Shelby, of all people, introducing this strategy where the entire fleet links as one when she knows that can be a huge weakness in your fleet because she's supposedly a Borg expert? Wouldn't you want ships to have more autonomy? That's it's like there are things that just don't add up. And then she gets killed. So thank you for that cameo. I'm glad you like that paycheck. I also I like the idea of the Ro Laren redemption. I thought that was really stupid in a logical world, because she should be in fucking jail. She committed treason.
I will bring one thing up. The entire Voyager crew was pardoned for their efforts to help Voyager. We don't know what happened to the people that Sisko and Eddington saved when Eddington got killed. We have no idea what happened to the Maquis. So the fact that she even survived is huge. Do I think she should be let back in Starfleet? No, we need some details on that. But I will say that they didn't put all the Maquis that survived in jail. That's it. There you go.
And I understand that. She's still a freaking traitor, and she should not be anywhere near being a Starfleet officer again. So overall, I like the music. I thought the music was overall pretty decent. But when a story has just so many problems, which is what I like Star Trek for, I can't give this a high score. For me, this show is a 4 out of 10.
Okay. Anything else?
I think that's it for now. I will just say I love my wife, because as I've started to rewatch this, because I've been putting together my notes for the review. She has started to watch it, and she absolutely hates it.
I don't blame her.
Her honest reaction was, how come 7 of 9 is acting less mature 25 years later than she did on Voyager? That was
Zombie Box Reviews may have the answer to that, because she boldly licked where no one has licked before.
Zombie.
Thank you.
My good
brother.
Boom.
Thank you. Thank you, my friend. Very much. Skull, and keep the fire burning bright. 24/7 Fusion Media.
What's up, man?
Let us know what you thought of this season, and give us what you think. Let us know. Let it all out. The floor is yours.
Yeah, man. If my internet could stop acting up for a moment, I'll be able to say something.
We can hear you.
Okay, cool. Actually, I thought I watched again, an episode and a half of season 1, did the same for season 2. And then coming into season 3, and after seeing what everybody watching everybody else's reviews for the first 2 seasons, and I saw the whole shit show unfold when when everybody was chiming in on all that, and coming to season 3, not knowing what to expect. It was a lot better than what I saw from the first 2 seasons. As I sit here and think about the whole thing, what I didn't like was there was, when it comes to like the other crewmen that aren't the main people on the Enterprise, a lot of them had a whole lot to say, and I don't know. Like example, when they ended up freeing the last few guys at the last episode, and the one guy was like, well, I had to help my mama, and and I never really figured out how to fly and all this. I was like, damn, why are we getting all this shit? These motherfuckers are ready to die. Why are you sitting there, explaining why the fuck you can't fly a ship? Sit your ass down and figure out, try to do something. I don't know, man. I didn't like that part, man. I was like, this is bullshit, Another thing is 7 and 9. I figured where the whole thing with the Borg, it's like I don't know, man. After I thought about it and watched everything, I kind of chilled for a little bit, and I was like, well, if she was Borg too, why the fuck didn't she have more of a part to play in the bottom line of all this? I know it's a TNG show, but you got a Borg in there that's, aside from Picard, I would figure that her input would have been, I don't know. I figured she would have had more an involvement in figuring out the bottom line of what the fuck was going on, because of the fact that in some, she's actually tied to the whole problem. And I don't know. I figured that maybe her expertise and everything about her, she was more of a Borg longer than Picard. And, she's like the only Borg on the, actually still partly Borg running around. Picard, of course, he has some remnants of that shit in him. But I don't know, man. I figured, knowing her experience, with being Borg, it wasn't relied on, and I didn't understand why. And I mean, I understand that they wanted to keep it more centered around the Next Generation cast, but it didn't make sense why she wasn't, asked, to be involved in that shit more, knowing that she actually had a bigger part in this than anybody else, because of she was part, because of her makeup. She's basically tied to the whole problem, to the whole situation. And nobody didn't give a fuck to ask her, what does she think of it? And she's running around with them. I was like, what the fuck? You got a Borg right next to you. Why she ain't doing shit? Or why she's not involved in trying to figure out what the fuck the problem is? I don't know, man. I just thought that shit was bullshit on that part, man. I don't know. Jack looked too old, man. I just was like, he was too. He act more like a 30, 40 something year old guy. He was, as smart or even smarter at some points than, a lot of the older folks. I don't know, man. It just.
I can understand them not wanting him to be Wesley 2.0 though, and everybody just say, "Oh my God, it's Wesley 2.0. Look at the little kid."
I mean, he could have been smarter than Wesley, not not a dumbass, but damn, he didn't play himself like a 20-year-old.
Yeah, I thought
like
he was
Castor
miscast too. I thought.
I mean, damn, he's 20 years old, but has the logic of everybody else in the room. Like he's fucking, like he.
Oh, we might have lost 24. Oh no!
Too much.
There he goes.
There you are.
No, my bad. I mean, the thing is, he knew so much more as a 20-year-old than as much as people that were 60, 70 years old running around. Like he had as much knowledge or even more to some point than them. And I was like, what the fuck, man? You've been hanging out with your mom all this time. How the fuck you know as much as everybody else? She didn't teach you all that shit. So I don't know, man. That was in, between that and 7 to 9, that was my 2. And then, Worf, I don't know, man. I don't know. He fought so hard to, to prove himself to be this. And then all of a sudden he's like, yo, he just got soft on us, man. I don't know, man.
He's a monk now.
Yeah, I mean, fuck.
Hell of a homeschooling.
Well, what I mean, other than that, it was good to see everybody back. And I thought that it was pretty smooth how they went through it, even though, they had a lot of plot holes and different things. I figured the way they did it and they coursed through it, and at the end, nobody died and everybody was able to walk out of that shit, and you don't have to cry that, Riker got killed in the middle of this, because that probably would have ruined a few things for folks, and everybody can basically walk away from this knowing that all their, greatest heroes from this show left intact. And that's basically, like they didn't have to sacrifice one person at the end. Data came back, which, a lot of people were happy to see. Some people, didn't give a fuck one way or the other, but it was cool, that he came back, and at the end, everybody was able to sit at the table and, and play cards, and fucking chill and talk. And, it just, for everything that it was to the buildup of it, it ended better than it started, and it was respectable that everybody can walk away from it and not, and people don't feel bad that somebody was left out or died. And
oh no.
Well, Will Wheaton was left out.
Oh yeah.
I hated to see. Right. And I mean, I hated to see Shaw die because at the end, out of everybody that, being a new character, he was really, towards the end, towards the middle of it, you can kind of see him kind of understanding the situation and being more receptive to what the actual bottom line of the problem was. And he ended up being a team player towards the end, and that was actually cool. I hated to see him pass, man, in the show. Other than that, don't have really too, I'm still, compared to everybody else on the panel and probably a lot of people in the chat, probably the least knowledgeable guy, but I do own the first 3 seasons of Star Trek. I own about maybe 4 or 5 seasons of Star Trek: The Next Generation. I don't have the complete collection. Voyager, I have about 4 or 5 seasons. I don't own anything DS9, and I don't own anything Enterprise. So there's a lot of shit I don't own, but I do own a lot of books. Well, not a lot. I own a few books. Comic book wise, yeah, I got like a full short box of Star Trek comics, original Marvel, DC, Star Trek. I even have I'm probably maybe 20, 25 issues, maybe about 20 issues short of the original complete run of Star Trek from Golden Key from the 1970s. So, and I'm catching on late, but, I do have probably some things that a lot of collectors don't have, but I'm trying to get into this at, where I fit in and figure it out. And basically I'm coming at this, looking at this with not the most, I'm probably the least knowledgeable, but from what I've seen and what I understand, it was a decent way that it ended, and I can't complain about that. And I would say that my overall
score,
thank you, it would be, I'd give it a 7.
Okay.
Ooh. Oh, I didn't give a score.
Yes, that.
Give a score. Give us a score. If you haven't given us a score, by all means.
How many box wines out of 10?
Oh, shit.
Oh, 10, obviously.
Okay, you're kind of thinking about that.
How many Twinkies?
There, 5. Okay, so it's 5 out of 5 box wines, y'all. But I'm gonna give it a super straw, a super silly straw for each one. That's like cherry on top. I love it.
Yeah. No, I'm actually gonna give it a 7 as well. because even though, like I said, it was not perfection, and there were some things that I was like, oh, come on now. The things that I did like about it, I really liked about it. And at the end of the day, even if a show is not perfect, I always judge how I feel, how it makes me feel, how it fits into my world, how it works. And I admit I had some very powerful moments with this show.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot of that is because Trek has just been such shit lately that when you see something that resonates with you, it's like, damn, I'm craving this. I am parched. I am dry. I want this. This particular moment, I want. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7 as well.
Okay. Right, really quick before we close this thing up, I've got a couple of chats I want to throw out, and I want to give my final score. Captain Pandem Nerd, who's been a member for 6 months and is a warrior of Midgar, says not Star Trek. Soundtrack was great though.
Mm-hmm.
I love the soundtrack. I have got the vinyl on pre-order.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, the music was good. Yeah,
the music was good.
definitely
Music
give it
was
that.
pretty solid.
Yeah.
That's not the one. That's not the one. Shit, where is it? There it is. Machini Dross. Despite the quality of the season, waking up each Friday to these reviews is to do these reviews the absolute highlight. He said to watch these reviews.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thank you,
Mark.
brother.
Sorry, I mean watching these reviews. Is what he said. But dude, yes, and you're more than welcome to come on here and do any review. You're always welcome to join us. Always love your opinion. I just hate getting you up that early because God knows we were getting up at like what 4:30 a.m. your time to watch the episode, and then not going live till 6. God help you.
One of the few advantages of being British and a creator, folks. When these guys are waking up, it's the afternoon for me.
I'm gonna give this a 5.5. I was stuck somewhere between a 5 and a 6, so I'm just gonna go with it and say fuck it and give it a 5.5. Yeah, I know that's cheating, but so what? I think that they had some great moments, some really emotional moments, like what Arwen was talking about. There are these moments where it's just like, man, you guys nailed it. And then there's the other side of the spectrum where it's like you handed a box of crayons over to a kid and told them to write an adventure, and it's just like,
Yeah.
you've got these moments of absolute genius, and then you have the same moments of absolute stupidity that I cannot deal with. I do not want mystery boxes. I don't want JJ Trek, and that's the biggest problem with JJ Trek is the mystery boxes and the past that lead absolutely nowhere. I understand if you're, a detective and you're looking at something, sometimes not all leads pan out, but motherfucker, you're like a 1 in 20 guy. Oh, well, how about this? Nope, didn't work. Okay, we'll go over here. Nope, that doesn't work either. Oh, well, how about that? Nope, bitch, back where you started. And
The Borg haven't been seen in 10 years, even though they were in the last season, but whatever.
But
But
those
what is
were
a
different Borg. Those
Yeah,
were
what-
the special battery eating Borg, that bitch. I got battery acting all over my face.
Talk about what is a
God.
woman. What is Borg?
This is the most
24
advanced species ever discovered. And she's like, car battery. Yeah. I'm getting the metal out of the car battery by eating the battery acid. God help you. God help you and your writers. But this was what? It's better? Yeah, it's better than season 1 and 2. The music is absolutely phenomenal. The music is all Star Trek. And there's going to be people that are like, you stole that. They stole that from this movie or that movie. Or they use Star Trek music. That's better than some of the other shit we get.
Agreed.
So that's not lowering expectations. That's like, cool. They're using the music they should be using.
It's giving us what we want. It's giving us what we want.
Have you heard the intro to Star Trek Discovery? It absolutely pisses all over the original and blah, 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 blah.
Here's the original music.
Oh my God, can you believe they used the original music in Picard?
I'm
Right.
like, fucking make up your mind.
Right.
It's because they want pop culture to burn like a fire so they can make a name for themselves off the heat and light, Loki.
Make up your mind what you want. You either want Trek that goes back to form of, you know, caring about these characters, not just caring about one. Because guess what? Guess what Picard season 1 and 2 were all about? Picard. It wasn't about anybody else. It was just about Picard and what Picard was going through. And what is STB about? Oh, it's just about Berman. Nobody else on that show fucking matters. Nobody gives a shit what about Tilly, the fucking Twinkie of Star Trek. Hi everybody, I'm Tilly. I ate the whole fucking box of Twinkies.
The Jabba the Hutt.
I can't lay on cotton.
Loki, I disagree. Loki, I completely disagree with you. The chef and the caterers care about Tilly.
Yeah.
I can't sleep on cotton.
I look like a beach ball, bitch. You're already there. You don't got nothing to worry about. Sleep on
What
cotton
about
all
the
you
poor
want.
guy? What about the poor guy that's got a wheeler around in a wheelbarrow?
God help me. The ship's steward. I have to wheel this bitch around. Coming your way, guys. I'm rolling Tilly under the bridge.
Oh my God, you're so mean. You're a fat.
Activate
bone.
atmospheric
It's
thrusters. to
unfucking
compensate.
healthy. I don't care what anybody said. I'm 400 pounds of beef and I'm healthy. No, you're not. No, you're fucking not. But they said they lied.
Yep. Nope.
They
just
fucking
stop.
lied.
Yep. Just stop.
The people behind the scenes that are like, here, eat this pizza. Here, have these Twinkies. Here, more donuts. They want you big. They lied to you. Oh, it's healthy. Trust us. We're in show business. Suck a douche, bitch. They lied to you. They fucking lied to you. So I don't know. It's better than that. It's better than what we've got. But I'm not lowering my expectations. So it's gonna get a 5. It's gonna get a 5.5 out of 10. And for all those people that are like, but Nerdrotic said it was absolutely excellent. I can see how I can see how Gary's like, you know what? This is better than anything they've done before. Because I absolutely agree with that. I can see how R&B's like, this is so much better than what they've done. I agree with that. It's still below the bar of what it used to be.
Oh well, you're just black-pilled, and you're not happy with anything, Loki, and you hide behind an avatar and a fake name.
Suck my dick.
I mean, yeah, a dog turd that's painted gold is still a dog turd.
That's coming from a fox.
I think it's better than a dog turd. I don't think it's a dog turd. It's not just painted because this isn't just Flash. You've got to know these characters to get that interaction, and you've got to have their part. You guys need to work together like you used to work together.
Yeah.
That whole first part with Riker and Picard kept me interested. It kept me watching after four episodes. The back and forth with Patrick Stewart and Jonathan Frakes kept me coming back. That's it. If it was not for their camaraderie and their back and forth, I would have been like, nope. It felt like Kirk and Bones. It felt like something Kirk and Bones would be going, or Bones and Spock. The familiarity and the camaraderie was there. They just needed some better fucking writing and a better story, and goddamn pick a villain.
Oh, we're gonna use the Dominion. Oh, we're gonna use the Borg. Oh, we're gonna go with this.
Damn. So 5.5 for me. It's better than any. It's better than any modern Trek we've gotten.
Yeah. Agreed.
And it was worth watching. I don't think it was worth watching twice, but it was worth watching once, and it got my emotions going. Believe me, there was a point where I was like Arwen. I was like, oh my God, y'all, I can't believe they did that. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe they did that.
One and done.
Yep.
Yeah. I had
was
some
worth
tears. Yeah.
It was worth watching. I love Data. I love seeing Data, and
I realize
Forge
everybody comes from this from a different perspective. You know, I started watching Star Trek when I was 9 years old in 1966. Wow. So, you know, that's just different perspective, different age groups and everything else. And to me, it just did not hit the mark. But that's me.
I first
And
started
those
watching.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, go on. Go
to
on.
those people that didn't watch this, yet have
Mhm.
sat here and reviewed it and talked about how much trash it is, but they refuse to watch it.
Mhm.
You're fucking cowards. If you're going to talk about it and you're going to review it, fucking watch it. If you're not going to watch it, you have no business reviewing it.
Yes.
I do agree with that. That's with anything. That's with anything.
Yeah, that's with anything
Like
and
like
everything.
like I said, I was not planning on watching this, so that's why I wasn't on the panel when you were doing the reviews. I had to get caught up first because I had to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys.
word.
We're gonna go around the panel one more time. Tell us where you're at, what you're doing, and what you got coming up. Rambling Canuck.
History with R&R is working on getting Drac back, so that's something to look forward to. Hopefully, crossing my fingers and toes. Karaoke will be back on Rambling Canuck tomorrow night, as long as the body holds out. And other than that, we'll be back streaming next week. Other than that, same scary places, same scary times.
All right, Ryan Roger Athay.
Oh, in regards to me, well, first of all, thank you all very much for watching. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to Loki's Mornings of Mischief. And all the other fine folks here. As for me, I'll be making a few Rising Stars videos for today, as well as a Gone But Not Forgotten video in regards to Jerry Springer, who has recently passed away. As for the next episode of Reality Base, that will be on the 30th of April with the one, the only, the legendary Tron, and I'm sure we're going to have a good talk in regards to his origins and happenings as a creator. So that's my schedule, and hopefully you all have a great day.
All right, Dave Bob, the Rooster Dave Bob. Are you gonna be on with us tonight?
I'll be back next Friday. I don't think that there's anything between here and then.
Okay. All right. Arwyn, the maiden of the roided owls and hooters and box wine and silly straws and
Oh my God.
missing
Hooters?
corks and
I let it slide, Dave Bob. Let it slide. Hooters are owls, y'all. They're owls.
yeah, owls.
Hoota.
Roided owls. The hoota.
Tonight and tomorrow, VacTube. Also the Weekend Geek with T-shirt Historian. And yeah, if there's Fortnite tomorrow morning on Fat Stevens, I'll probably be there. Yeah, that's my plans, unless anything else comes up. So.
Lord off.
Gotta love hooters.
Yeah.
Project Storytime.
Tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern, I will be on with Arisa Chaos. I have no idea what we're talking about because she's incredibly busy and she doesn't get back to my texts.
She doesn't get back to mine either.
Oh no!
And then
She's just busy, super busy.
Yeah. And then I am compiling my notes to have a full-on Picard season 3 review, and that will be out when it's ready.
Nice.
Nice. I can't wait to watch it. Insights. I want those 30 pages of insights. 24/7 Fusion Media. What you got going on, and what you got coming up? Hello.
24.
Yeah, that's the internet again. I was waiting for it to stop swirling, but yeah, I just dropped the video like not even 5 minutes ago, man. So you guys check it out. Warner Brothers sold like 3 Batman related cartoons to Amazon, and they're pretty shite. So yeah, funny thing to talk about. Y'all check it out, and I'll be streaming here a little bit later and throughout the weekend. So other than that, it was great being here with the panel. Love everybody on the panel, love everybody in the chat. It was fun. The best part, honestly, to me, of all this shit was actually doing my first watch party kind of thing with everybody on the panel. I've never done a watch party, never been involved in one, never been invited or anything.
Likewise.
So this is my first time, and I enjoyed it. Everybody's been super chill. It was a great time, sitting here, waking up, all times in the morning, trying to get my shit together so I can watch it. It was fun, getting up with everybody and seeing everybody every Friday. I'm gonna miss that, man. Us being together like that, man. That's the part that I'm, that's the part I don't like after this, is the fact that, it's over, man. I don't know. But I had a great time, man, and coming in here and reviewing it and talking to y'all and checking out the chat, man. I love it, man. I don't know, man. This was an experience I'll never forget, man. And thank you all for having me and inviting me and, listening to me talk shit, man. I appreciate it, and I love you guys, man. Thank you all for having me.
Thank you for being here, brother. And like he said, biggest thing I'm going to miss is getting to hang out with all of you and watch those episodes and experience that with you guys. So thank you so very much for being a part of this, being a part of this wonderful review panel. And thank you, everybody, for watching this. Everybody who's kept up with these, hung out with us, watched these reviews. We really do appreciate it. Every single one of you. I love the fact that you guys have been so engaging. And the final consensus on the poll, which I'm going to end now, is good but not great. Picard season 3 was good but not great. 40%.
Fair.
A great True Trek at 27%. Hated it. More JJ nonsense at 22%. And disappointing at 9%.
Wow, I did not expect that, ladies and gentlemen. I really didn't. I thought 0.3 and 0.4 would be the most popular. So thanks for proving me wrong and proving that lower expectations is a real thing.
I am fading in and out. I'm sorry. We're fading. We're losing power. We're losing power in the Valhalla studios. I'm fading.
The dilithium crystals are about to crack, Captain.
Just call it a blooper. Just say blooper and move on.
So what was the final score?
The final score was good but not great. Was the top.
Okay. All right. I got
40%. That means it got like anywhere from a C to a B.
Okay, I got you. That's cool. All right.
Great, absolutely wonderful. Great came in at second. Hated it. More JJ nonsense came in at third, and disappointing came in at fourth.
How many of Dave Bob's sock accounts voted on hated it? That's what I want to know. Click, click, click.
I don't play those games, girl.
Oh, all right, guys, we're out of here. Have a we'll see you later tonight on the Late Show. I think I don't have my phone. No one's messaging.
All right.
Say no, we can't do it. So, guys, be great, be excellent to each other. Always speak friend to enter. Keep on trekking. Later, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, everyone.
All right.
To boldly explore more breasts, to seek out new labias, to lick and fondle, to boldly go where no seven of Borg has gone before.